and welcome. I am Jaden, the executive producer for LandFest, a 501c3 dedicated to building healthy communities through gaming. And today I'm here with Betty, who interned at PAX Arena at PAX West 2025. Welcome, Betty. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for meeting with me today and answering a few of these questions. First of all, how was PAX? Was it, just a general vibe?
It was an unbelievable experience. It was something I didn't go in expecting what was going to happen. Um, so seeing everything firsthand just was like a big old, I guess, eye opener. Just it was amazing. It was a really fun experience.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Um, So, was this your first time doing anything like this, being to like a gaming convention, or how familiar are you with the space?
It was my first time being to PAX West, even Seattle. I have gone to TwitchCon and Comic Con, so I mean I don't know if those count. But other than that, it was pretty new.
In 3 words, can you describe your thoughts on your weekend at PAX Arena? Can you attribute 3 words to it?
Um, I'll say challenging.
Okay,
Um, I had the words.
it's fine. We can circle back to it later. I think this is a hard question to put up front, so we'll circle back. Well, I'll ask you at the end. Um, I guess on the note, what was the most challenging part of this training for you?
Um, A lot of it is wanting to be useful. So I knew going in I was a mentor and I didn't know much, but just seeing every run around, I'm like, I want to help. So that was
Right.
kind of rough because we're- in my field, I'm always helping everyone. So not being able to do that because I am trying to still learn everything and learn their ways and not try to destroy anything and bring the show down. So I would say that was like the hard part is try to just learn, watch, and ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. It is kind of intimidating to there's a lot going on very fast, and yeah, it can be intimidating to ask questions and keep up and try to make sure you're learning while out without slowing things down and getting in the way. Absolutely. What was your most memorable moment throughout the weekend? What's going to stick with you for the longest, do you think?
I think for me, it's gonna be when the show started, just hearing, they let me, actually, it was a rehearsal moment. They let me sit in on one of their comms. And so just hearing, production go, uh, replay go, and just hearing like all these things just sync up into one moment. And that was really, really interesting to see and just see how everything like just seamlessly like came together.
Yeah, absolutely. It is fun to see. I worked in television for a long time, so I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a flow to things, and once it gets going, it's pretty crazy how people are calling things out left and right, and people know exactly what it means and how it all works together. Would you recommend this internship program to other people that are interested in behind the scenes work?
I would. I actually came back and I talked a whole bunch about it at work, and so many were interested already. And so I'm not sure what the steps would be if they were to be interested in the future. But I know a lot of them, I would recommend it, and a lot of them were interested.
I'm so glad to hear that you would recommend this and that you have positive feedback. What would you recommend, or what advice would you give to future interns in this program if you had the ability to?
Something I would recommend for future interns, it would be do not be afraid to ask questions. Take notes if you can. I know everything's going to be running really fast, so what I something I did is I took notes on my phone to ask later. Just try to learn as much as you can and be visual as watch everything that they're doing.
Awesome. Perfect. And I believe you're not the only person that we've interviewed that has said, like, ask questions. Like, that's their biggest advice is ask questions. And that would be my advice as well. Do you feel that you were supported well throughout your internship? And if so, why not?
I feel like I was. Uh, they were always, at least who I entered with, they're really good about asking like, hey, do you want to come sit over here? One thing that one of the engineers did for me was because I was off on one of the days. Oh shoot, I was off one of the days, and they had an issue that came up the following day when I showed up. They went through all the steps that they did, to fix those issues. So I thought that was really amazing that at least I saw the effort in him wanting me to learn what he was involved with.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, oftentimes when you're on a normal production, you're moving so fast that taking notes and making sure that that's documented so they can give you that info and you can learn from it, even when you're not there. I think that's a great example of the work that they're doing and the effort that they're putting in to make sure that you guys are supported. Awesome. I'm glad you felt supported throughout that. So now we're kind of at the end of our questions. So can we circle back in 3 words? Do you think now that we're all warmed up, you can give us 3 adjectives to describe your experience and your thoughts about the PAX arena?
Exhilarating, challenging, and there's one more. um, I guess fun.
Fun, awesome. Those are 3 great words. I'm happy to hear those words. So, yeah, I'm glad you had a good time and a positive experience, and that you learned some stuff. Do you have any plans to continue doing this kind of work in the future? Whether it be just part time here or there, or in a more full time basis.
If something comes up, I'm never gonna now be afraid to say no. I am currently I'm taking a short course that I found online, just something that can give me a little bit more background and everything, just so I can learn more. Knowledge is key to everything, so
Yep. Yep.
um, that's kind of my goals, and just hopefully I can get my foot into these opportunities in the future.
Awesome. And yeah, now you not only do you have some of the experience, you also have some of the contacts as well. And that's often, a big part of the battle is just knowing who has these opportunities available. So now you're fairly well connected in the industry. At least you have a nice foot in the door. So awesome. Thank you so much for talking with us today. And thank you so much for participating in the PAX Arena internship. Um, hope to see you at events all across the US.